Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Above the Sky, Season 4, Episode 10, the last episode of this season, Season 4, Episode 10. I have a special guest with me. I met him at an open mic, Renegades. The first time I did get my witness of this man, I saw him perform, and from right then and there, I realized that he gives his all when it comes to whatever he tries to go for, when it comes to anything that he tries to go for. But currently today, he is a musician, he is an artist, he is a songwriter, he's also a performer and a rapper. And like I said, he takes his work very seriously and he takes his time with it. And I believe quality over quantity is everything. And I believe he's a true definition of that. So I believe in my heart that he's a roundabout artist. And yeah, I believe that's it from my end, but I'm gonna have him to introduce himself fully, and then we get started with the interview questions.
Word. First of all, yo, you gotta get me emotional 5 minutes into this interview. Come on, man, touching my heart, bro.
Nah.
I appreciate that so much, bro.
That's crazy.
That means the world, and this is one of my first few interviews that I've done in my career. Like this, like the podcast stuff is the stuff I haven't really dabbled into yet. But like to do it with you, like I said, like he said, we met at an open mic, and it's just been the relationship's been blossoming, and it's been a blessing. Thank you for having me on the show. And yeah, it's a blessing. But yeah, just to get into me, I guess. My name's CYBRA. I'm 21 years old, from Brooklyn, New York, Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, more specifically. It's like a lesser known, like very small neighborhood, like at the foot of Bay Ridge. at the foot of Brooklyn. And I've been doing this for like 5-6 years. Started taking it seriously around maybe 3-4 years ago. And I started writing when I was in sophomore year of high school. And that was like, I'm sure, as a lot of people say, that get into this line of work, like it gave me purpose, and it was the thing that gave me the most purpose. I had a lot of interests, but nothing came close to writing, whether it was poetry or just doing something creative. And then it ended up being music. I started tapping into that side of me. And then as time went on, I was realizing that, I want to make this into it. Like, I think my first performance at New York Composed Cafe, after that, I was 17. I almost threw up the second I got out of the Uber to get to the show. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. And then I did it. And I did, for a 17-year-old at his first performance, I guess I did not too bad. But at the time, I thought I tore the house down. And that was the moment where I was like, all right, this is something, I'm not giving this up. And it hasn't, I've had ups and downs, ebb and flows, but I haven't, given it up since. And then since then, I've been trying to just, get out of the loop of just, writing and trying to really push myself, spread love, and, just be a good person while also being the best artist, personality, marketer and everything, like just, businessman and just personality and the shit I can be. So with that, I've been trying to perform more. I've been trying to, work on my craft as much as I can, just trying to introduce good habits and stuff. And then with all that, I think one thing that I, pride myself on is how much I, try to take what I'm learning and take the stuff that I'm either struggling with or, benefiting from, and kind of post about it on my social media and tell other people yo, this is I know it's age old thing, you got to show people that you're going through stuff, show people that you're human, and that makes you relatable. And I really believe that. And it's never been tough for me because, I always had I wear my emotions on my sleeve, I'd like to think. So that's been my MO, trying to spread love. And I know you, because at every show we're at, I've met, and Leon is just a freaking a beast, and he's such a workhorse. And whenever he's at the shows, he's always talking, spreading positivity, spreading light, spreading love. And that's what I really believe in. So I think that's why I probably gravitated towards you, and, why we kind of link so well, I think, because I'm really just trying to be as good of a person I can be. Obviously, that's the main thing. The music and stuff, as long as you're being consistent and you're pushing yourself and you're working on your craft, that's going to come. So what doesn't come as easily sometimes is, really trying to persist as a good personality, a good heart and soul in this shit. You know what I mean? So that's my story. Sticking to it. Very happy to be on the show. Yeah, I appreciate you, bro.
Question number 1. How did you get into making music?
Great question. So I think it started off when I was probably 13, 14. I feel for a lot of people, even if I asked you this question, it would probably be multiple starting points. There's different, I was playing the banjo at 4 or something like that. And then I started doing this and this. For me, when I was 13, 14, I didn't like rap for a good portion of my life. I didn't really like, I wasn't really a music person for like, not good. I like music when I was young, but like hip hop, especially, really got into my life when I was in high school. And then over time, what happened was when I was 13 in 7th, 8th grade, I would do singing covers. Like I was really into singing. I would sing Frank Sinatra. I'd sing like all the pop songs that were out.
Oh,
And
that's dope.
that was really like, that was like a creative music, like a musical way for me to express myself. And then I like did like a set, like a, what's it called? The freaking concert at my school. Like we did like a little, like in the auditorium, we put on a little show. And
Yeah.
that was like amazing. Like that was like, I was on top of the world, like just like the New Rican thing. So I started doing that, but I wasn't even close to writing at that point. I wasn't writing my own stuff. That like came 2 years later, probably like my freshman year of high school. I started doing the writing, like I said. And
Yeah.
then basically with time, I started like I didn't even notice, because I think now once you're like established as like, oh, I'm an artist, I want to start doing this, you like forget like how to like naturally be productive. But when I was 15, I was writing every single day, and I didn't even when I go back and think about it, and I still have my notebooks that I wrote all my lyrics and bars in, my hooks and all that. And I'm like, damn, I literally wrote this shit, like wrote in this shit for every single day for like the whole year. And I never failed. Like every single time I would do it. And it wasn't
Wow.
because, oh, I got to stay productive. Oh, I got a hook to do. I got this, I got that. It was just because I loved it. And
Yeah.
I still sometimes find myself trying, I'm probably the most productive I've been probably this year. But like, I still find myself trying to like, tap into that person that was like so into it and nothing else mattered. But
Yeah.
now it's like about, because I think back then, it wasn't a healthy balance. It was like I was just doing that and I didn't care about anything else. Like, and I wasn't like at 15, even at like I could have been at 15, even like trying to like, become like learn how to market and shit like that. It would have, got me where I wanted to be quicker. But at least I had that foundational love of it. And then, that now it's like leading into now where I'm trying to, figure shit out, and I'm starting to figure shit out.
Mm.
So 15, I was doing the writing. And then I think probably like my senior year of high school, I started interning for like a studio, like a music studio, like as an engineer in Park Slope. And I was doing
Mm.
that for a good 2 or 3 years. And that's when I started recording. That's when I started really like learning how my voice sounds in there for like hours and hours and hours. I would do somebody's session. I'm not really a good engineer, but I would do it just because, it would give me the space, and I would learn some, mixing, and just learn the mumbo jumbo pretty much.
Yeah.
And then so after that, like in between sessions, I would make a song with my guys that were also interning. And then we, after all the sessions were done, we'd stay there till like freaking 2 a.m. working on stuff. And that's where I really started my sound. And then I was still writing a lot. And then I think in 2019, I released my first song on platforms. Know My Name, it's still up there. And then since then, it's just been now like the stage that I am in now, just like developing each time, like learning all the business stuff. Now I'm like trying to make it more practical and make it more of like something that I can obviously profit off of, while still trying to, like have the love for it, and never give that up. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's like I said, different starting points, but it's always been rooted in like, like how much I love this shit, and like never want to give it
Yeah.
up. So yeah, it's like that's pretty much it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I actually really like that a lot because because it's like it's kind of cool when it comes to like people like us that have like different starting points, because it
Mm-hmm.
kind of like it challenges us, and when we're young, where we're just
Yeah.
like okay, we picked this up like at a very young age, but then we kind of threw it off a bit because we wasn't sure like if this is what we really wanted to do. So we
For
gave
sure.
like a space in between until we
Yeah.
picked it up again. And then
Mm-hmm.
so you kind of like try to like figure out, like trying to confirm yourself, like, yo, is this it? Is this really like my absolute my dream that I want to achieve? Or maybe it's just like a hobby or some sort, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um and then within you, like at the age, you said age 15, you started writing like
Yeah.
crazy. Like, yeah, so
Yeah.
like that's really cool, because it's just like that's like the blueprint, low key,
Yeah.
of your kind of like not your beginning process, but like your developing process to where
Yeah.
you are right now.
Right.
Um, because like you were just laying out the foundations
Yeah.
of your whole like discography to where it is right now, basically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because you said you were writing music, you were writing all different type of like, like you were just, it was just like music, or was it like anything in general? Like,
So when I was younger, like when I was, probably 6, 7, 8, 9, I wouldn't really do music, but I would do all the other stuff. Like you said, like I would like draw, I would try to draw, I try to make
gotcha.
stories, like short stories and stuff. I was into like author shit too. Like I try to like write a story and like figure out like what characters and stuff like that. I do that a lot. And then when I first started doing the writing, I was still doing that kind of stuff. I still want to try writing a book or do something like that. I want to creatively satisfy myself still in that department, but
Yeah.
I can't draw to save my life. So I gave that up. I had to, like, I can't draw at all. So besides that, I was, really into just, just writing, like trying to just create some kind of thing where there was like writing stories, writing, music. Those were the main two, I'd say.
Yeah.
And then even try to like artistically, I'll try to, I'll doodle and I'll just like write little abstract drawings and stuff like that. So it was always like, I always need to be like stimulated creatively. I know it's not like an original answer, but that it is true. You know what I'm saying?
No, I respect that.
Yeah.
Because it's just when it comes to the way that you try to like grow it, like the way that you try to water your seed at the beginning, like you
Yeah.
just tapped into like anything that was kind of creative wise,
Yeah, for sure.
and because it kind of like it piques your interest at the beginning because you don't know if it's like you don't know what that feeling is because it's just like when you learn something new, especially when you learn something like creatively new, bro, that's just like a whole feeling that like it's so hard to describe instead
Yep.
of just you got to be at that moment to describe it, you know what I'm saying? So it's
Sure. Yeah.
just like it's kind of I like that a lot, and I like the way that you're able to like form different type of pieces within your line of work, like developing short stories and whatnot, and trying to
Yeah.
and definitely like keep that in your back in your mind for the future. Creating a book for sure, because I can see
Yeah.
that. I could definitely see that, and that's something that I'm trying to hopefully do within my like another bucket list that I'm trying to go for.
Yeah.
Um,
For sure.
because there's a story to be told, and if you could be able to develop that story and could be able to tell it through like a book form,
Yeah. Yeah.
and for the right people to like read it, it could really reach a different type of level of like people around you. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people that read books, but there's also like a lot of people that don't read books. So
Yeah.
you never know who you can reach, you know what I'm saying? So definitely keep that hopefully going for the future, you know what I'm saying?
For sure. Yeah, yeah. And I just want to say, like, just from what I've, how I've, like what I've talked to you, you would definitely make a book that I would buy. You know what I'm saying? I would buy that
Oh
one.
damn. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Yeah,
I would love to author-wise,
I would love to see how that turns out too, for real. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
Question number 2. So in your own words, how would you describe your sound of music?
So, like the music I make, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it's it's definitely changing, I think, a little bit over time, but well, it goes back to when I was, younger. Like once I was, in high school, especially like my later years in high school and like teenagehood, I started
Mm,
trying to study it. And it was another thing like where like with the writing where I didn't even realize I was doing it, but I
yeah.
started doing it, started like being like when I would hear it like a hook and I was like, I would think like, oh, this is catchy, like everybody does, like, oh, I like this, it's catchy. But I would be like, oh, why is it catchy? Like, well, what is it? And I would keep listening to it, and I would obsess over it. And then, like that, like when no matter what song it was, no matter what genre it was, I would always have that. Like something about this is like getting me, making me, making me tick. And I'm like, all right, I got to try to put this in. So then it would be like
Mm,
stuff like rock. I'd say I definitely rock like in like the the vocals that I try to use and like the inflections and stuff. I definitely have that kind of style to my singing, especially.
yeah.
But then in terms of rapping, a lot of people say that like I got kind of like a southern, tone in my voice, for sure. Just because like I don't know where it comes from because I listen to all kinds of rap, especially now. Like I've been like getting into more and more like subgenres in hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
But I think now I'm really trying to like experiment with as much as I can, like comfortably, like confidently. Like obviously, like I gotta step outside the box, at certain like from time to time. But I'm definitely trying to like go like as much as I can, like pop, R&B, like hip hop, like
Yeah.
rock, do stuff, and try. Sometimes I'll even try to put multiple like ones, in the same kind of little song, and it's definitely a multitude of things I would say, but I try to always like kind of like how I said before, like water each plant. Like I try to like, get some rap stuff because I want to, because I like all these genres, what I'm saying? Like I'm a
Yeah.
listener, I'm a lover of all these genres first. So all the music is just from like the way the reason I'm able to kind of do them, at the in the way that I do them is just because I'm a lover of them first. I'm saying? I've been listening to all kinds of shit for from a very young age. But my earliest influences were probably like Linkin Park and then like Kanye. Like those are the first people I remember listening to, like in my memory. So people like
Mm,
that, like in the mid like late 2000s.
mm-hmm.
So I kind of like carried that over, and then whenever I like now, I kind of try to implement it as much as I can. So a multitude of things, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
No, that sums it up very, very
Or,
well. Because it's when trying to develop your sound, it's
yeah,
like at first it's definitely tough because it's just you don't really know which type of sound you're trying to go for
for,
because you're listening to so many different things around you and you're listening to so many different type of music, so many different sounds, and you want to be able to kind of recreate that to your own type of sound, basically. You know what I'm
for
saying?
sure, for sure.
And I could definitely hear within your music as well, because like I hear all different type of like rhythms of music with when it comes to your sound of music. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? And when
thank
it
you.
comes to the way that you develop in your own way, for
Mm,
from what I've seen in your performance, you know,
yeah,
and when 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 I hear it, like all I hear is just you know what I'm saying? And that, you know, and that's the best of it. Like I don't
yeah,
hear like another artist. Like I don't hear like I try my very best, and I do it sometimes. And I think a good majority of people do it as well, where they kind of relate other artists to other artists as well because they can just
for
hear
sure.
the comparison, you know.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, like you can't take credit. You can't take that credit from the original person that's
Yeah,
delivering that art. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you just sound like you know what I'm saying, you're just developing all different type of sounds and experimenting with all different type of sounds in order just to create something new within music, you
yeah,
know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
for
And
sure.
that's a cool thing about music, like you can really make something new that no one
Yeah,
has ever probably maybe has
yeah,
never listened to, you know what I'm
for
saying?
sure, for sure.
And
Absolutely.
you don't even like, and you don't even know like what you even be creating most of the time. You just be
Yeah,
creating and you don't even know if it's gonna really be like as much of an impact or as much of anything at the
yeah,
beginning. But then when you
uh-huh,
start writing and then recording it and then performing it,
yeah,
you get the, you know, results from there probably
for
or
sure.
from any other way as well. But
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
yeah.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Now that means a lot, and like that's what I try. That's like my mission with this shit most of the time when it comes to. Sorry, if I get up in this interview a couple, it's just to let my cat out because he's being, he's being a little brat. But
No
besides that,
worries, bro.
shit's uncut. So basically, that's what I try to do, and I'm sure you can relate to that. Just trying to like not just because I think when we first started out, we like to call ourselves rappers. Like what I'm saying, like I never when I was
Yeah,
younger, I was I'm an artist. Now it's like it's so much more fulfilling to like try to embody that. You know what I'm saying? Like know that you can like do a whole bunch of different shit. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
to like be able to embody that, you gotta like walk the walk. Like you gotta like try out new shit, listen to new stuff. Like you gotta be a good listener of music too. Like it's very important. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I try to do, and it's easy. Like, and I'm sure you can relate to this. Like I said, it's easy because I just this is my it's my life pretty much in terms of like music. Whether it's like music being such an important part of my life, not even just making it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
100%. Yeah, no, especially when you're around it so heavily, you can
yeah,
easily get inspired by just anything around you.
yeah,
Really, and it's sometimes it's not even really musically wise. You can just go out to a walk and you can get inspired by someone like beeping a horn or some shit. Like, oh shit,
yeah.
this horn sounds crazy, and then you take that horn
Thing.
and then make a beat with it or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Or you could just go out to nature or go out somewhere and then you can just describe your day in nature or some shit and then you could write a full story from there. Like there's so
mm,
many ways to just grab all different type of inspirations, all different type of anything just to
mm,
help you out within whatever you're trying to go for, within anything you're trying to go for, like not even musically wise. Or you can go out to nature and then you can like whatever like vivid imagery you saw in front of you, you could like develop that into a painting. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
So like,
absolutely.
yeah, this the inspiration is very very endless around here. I feel like, and I feel like the only even if you feel like your inspiration has died down,
Yeah,
either you gotta take a break or just gotta go out there and get that
yeah.
somewhere. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I think it's always there. I think it's like it might not be in you all the time, but it's always like it's always accessible. It's just you got to be
Yeah,
ready to go seek it out if you have to. If you're in your crib and you're like inspired and you don't need to look at no paintings, you don't need to listen to no interview. That's a big thing too. Like I know, and I'm one of them that likes to listen to interviews or listen to come up stories and get inspired by that. But if that's not happening, if you can't find anywhere, you got to like try harder to just go find it because it's there. It's always there, and
it's
it's like
always there.
you're
Yeah.
if you're consistent, the more consistent you are, the more you try to seek it out, the more you're gonna find it, obviously, because you're looking more. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
simple.
yeah, 100%, 100%. So question number 3. how does your sound of music separate you like to everybody else's sound of music in your own way that you want to try
Yeah.
to like answer that?
Yeah. I'd say the main thing, it's like just how, like if I had to talk about myself in this way, probably like the way I do rapping and singing, because I like to rap with like a swagger, as much swagger as possible, like with my
Yeah.
voice and everything. Also, when I sing, I think I can like, I try to shapeshift with like how I sing, like in many ways. Like sometimes I'll sing from the soul and I'll really sing like kind of punk rock, emo rock, like infused. But then sometimes I literally just like to be, you know, like as fly as I can be and just like sing something more wavy. Because sometimes, like you know, obviously you want to be accessible to a lot of people, but you also want to have your own sound. But if I can sing in a lot of ways and, you know, like, you know, just kind of fulfill a lot of different vibes, and that's what I, you know, that's what I try to do. So I say it's like the way I do those two big pillars, like, and I think that's probably what I take pride in the most in terms of like what makes me original, I guess. You know, that's what I
Mm,
try to do.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could definitely like hear it, for sure.
Yeah.
Like
Thank
I
you.
said, and when I seen you perform, like even just that last performance, bro, that shit was dope.
Thank
And I just like yeah, your voice is dope, man. Your voice is really like there, and I feel like when it comes to both rapping and like singing, and when it comes to like the emo rock that you try to go for as well, like I can like hear it, like literally hear it. You know, when you even perform it live, or when I hear it like on my phone, like through your singles, or you know what I'm saying.
you.
So it's just like the delivery is always on point. The delivery is always like consistently there. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, bro.
And
Really appreciate
of course, because there's definitely trying to figure out all different type of ways of just trying to like push different type of boundaries within music is
it. Yeah,
definitely difficult because there's a lot of consistent, you know, the same results of music around you, and
for
trying to
sure.
just break out of that box is definitely tough. And I've like started to like fully become more comfortable just breaking out
Yeah,
of that box, because before it was very difficult for me as well. Before I didn't even like wanted to like make all different type of sounds of music, not only just because like I didn't think people would fuck with it. It was just
yeah.
because I was just exposing more of myself
Mm,
to people. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that like is very like it's close to me, because you're exposing like all different type of like realism to a lot of people that you may or may not know. You know what I'm
for sure.
saying? So
Mm,
like, but what I try to like, you know, cope with and try to comprehend during that
yeah,
time where it's just like my music is not going to be meant for everybody, you know, but
yeah.
at the same time, it's meant for the right people to listen to. And I feel like that's the same for you, where your
Mhm.
music is not meant for everybody, but it's meant for the right people to listen to.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I feel like that's more important than
Mhm.
people trying to reach a certain audience, you know,
Yeah,
like just reach whatever people or fan base you can reach, and then
for
let
for
it, and then let them come to you and you come to them, and then everything will come together, you know. Question number 4. So who or what are your inspirations that develops the way your music sounds today? And before like you answer, when it comes to
Mhm.
this question, like it doesn't have to be anything musically wise. It
Yeah,
can be like whatever like inspires you to make the music that you make today.
sure. Yeah. So I'd say my biggest, just to get the, you know, the regular answer out of the way, my musical inspirations for sure. It started out, especially with rapping, it started out as Eminem, because it was
Of
like,
course.
the biggest thing was I was like, you know, it's kind of a joke, but I'm like, yo, like when I was 14, I was like, yo, this white boy is like the best rapper ever. Like I could do that, you know. And that was like, now it's like it's a ridiculous way to think, because there's so many people with different, you know, ethnic backgrounds like making music. But
Facts.
back then that was a big thing, and then it became Nas, Biggie, all the freaking, you know, the founding fathers of this shit. You know what I'm saying? That those are my guys, and I
Yeah.
still like look back to them for inspiration as much as I can. Drake is a big one. Recently, especially just listen to all his stuff, especially his songwriting. He's probably my biggest songwriting influence, just because of like how he writes and like just the way, the nuance that he adds to it. It's very needed. It sets you apart, and that's what I've been trying to capture. You know what I'm saying? And while, you know, I
Mm,
was trying to my own too. In terms of
mm,
like outside inspirations, I definitely get inspired by art, like, you know, just like paintings and stuff like that. I try to look at that sometimes when I'm trying to capture a specific vibe. That's usually when I'm doing it, when I hear a beat or something, and then it makes me think of some kind of art, some genre of art, or just something. I try to go to that, search it on Google or something, and just, you know, draw from that. And then a big thing, which again, I'm sure it might not be a groundbreaking answer, but life experiences, probably like just, you know, going
facts.
like new life experiences. Obviously, like the stuff that I do all the time on a daily basis inspires me too, and I can write about that. But if I go, like I went to Puerto Rico last year and I had so much shit to write about it after that. Like it was so beautiful. Like and it was like the first time I really like went on a vacation like that. So it was just like had so much shit to pull from after that. And like every new experience I do, it sparks something. And it's obviously like I have to be in the right frame of mind. Like I have to like, have a beat to, go off of. Sometimes I gotta go find it. Like I gotta still be productive. Like it's not just gonna like come all the time on its own. But like we said, as long as you put yourself in those situations, you seek those new experiences out, it'll come to you. So probably like in terms of music, there's a few, like a big musical one that's not rap is probably Stevie Wonder. I love Stevie Wonder, and I think he's just such a beast, such a legend, of course. And then so I'd say just like art, like different kinds of art also inspire me, movies and stuff like that. Believe it or not, I can take it back into my music and pull from that. There's a lot of different ways you can get it, but it's just it's a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, and I think that's the sign of a quality artist too, if they can take it from different, because you have to. It's a very important thing, and it like opens up a whole new world if you can like take inspiration from places you wouldn't think you could take inspiration.
100%. No, I love all that, bro. For real. Nah, especially you're the first one that mentioned like grabbing inspirations from a movie. So I'm glad that you brought that one up. But we'll get into that one for sure, because I want to get back to like what you said when it comes to like life experiences as well, because that's definitely kind of sums up everything to grab inspiration. But we're definitely gonna talk about Eminem and like Drake as well. But like that one caught my interest the most. It's like sort of as well when it comes to like life experiences. Sometimes you need to go to different places you never really been to. Was that your first time like in Puerto Rico?
Yeah, it was, because but prior to that, I'd only really traveled a little bit on the East Coast. I haven't traveled a lot. It's something that I really want to like. I'm only 20, so in my 20s, like a big goal is like to see a lot of the world, like travel. Obviously, like within my budget, what I'm saying, because some of these places ain't cheap to go to. So but like last year, I took a week off work. I went with family, and it was my first time really going out of America, going out of the States. And we went to Fajardo, I believe, and it was just like it was crazy. We did like canoeing and all kinds of like like fun trip shit, like like the tourist stuff. We were like going on the beach and stuff like that, and it was just like unlike. And then now I'm like, yo, it was kind of like with when I went on stage and it made me want to like do rap forever. It was like, no, I want to start all over the place. Like I want this more. I want this feeling more, because it's just like it was so different than my everyday life here in Brooklyn. And it just like opened up a whole new world. So that was immense. And it's like, it was important for my artistry too, because I started writing about it. I started like making songs inspired by it, just like tributes to it. It was a big deal, and it still is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I feel you like very heavily.
And like the two things, like the movie stuff is people don't realize that movies can inspire you in like a lot of different ways. Like but like other artists mainly inspire you just because of like their music, and you try to make music that like replicates that kind of stuff. But movies, because I've seen like you have a lot of content now, video content, especially like music videos, and that's like it's simple math. Like of course you watch this stuff and like you get so inspired that you want to make something, like not even something like that, but make your own shit. But it also just like it creates so much. You don't realize the domino effect that can happen. Like you see a movie and you just like the style of it, you like the font, you like the lighting, you like the cinematography, you like how the characters are, and then you want to make a persona off of it, inspired by it. You want to make like a music video inspired by a song, inspired by it. Like there's so many different ways you can do it, and it's like it's not talked about, you know what I'm saying? So I'm glad we could both shed light on it, because it's like it's a really good source of inspiration. If you haven't used it enough, you should try, because it might even be there. You just got to tap into it. Like it's a real thing. You know what I'm saying? That shit is really inspiring.
Yeah, man, 100%. Yeah, and all it takes, it can really take only one movie. It could take a couple shows. Just try it out. For anybody that hasn't tried it out, and just let us know. Facts. Just let us know.
Yeah. Do that, bro. We send those freaking submissions, and we want to hear those songs inspired by the freaking films. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So question number 5. So what's your like creative process like when it comes to creating and coming up with a song? You don't have to give me like the full details, because that's like that's I don't want to give out no secrets or anything, but like in your own way, like if you want to try to explain it, how does that process go about within your music?
It's scatterbrained at times, but it's also become a lot more methodical as I've tried to be. Like,
Yeah.
remember when in the very beginning of this, when I said, "Oh, I'm trying to like tap into that kid that did it every single day," and I've been on a good streak. Like for a few months, I've been writing every day, and it's been well. But the thing is, every I look at every day that every like creative session. Like it doesn't have to be recording. It's mainly writing. Because obviously I go to the studio as much as I can, but like every day, like I'm able to access my phone and like start writing, writing lyrics and stuff. So
Yeah.
every day is a mission that I try to execute, but with a lot of like self compassion. And what I mean by that is like, every day I try to like, all right, it helps a lot if I have something like like Leon sent me like a song we're gonna get on, like I want to write that, like I'm always like able to write stuff like that. If it's like if it's song idea that I already have, or if it's something that someone brings to me, I'm usually like I'm money with that, like I can get started right away. But then if it's something, if like when I don't have that, that's when the tough days come, and that's where I try to bring in the self compassion and just be like, all right, try to find some, like try to cook up some kind of idea, and if nothing happens, just try to put at least one bar down, like try to put one lyric down, one idea, and then you can just leave it like that. There's a couple on my phone, there's a couple like in my books that I've just had there. I did one bar and like I haven't gone back to it, and I probably never will. It won't become anything. And then there's songs that started off as like a couple bars, and now I have a whole song written to them. Oh, I'm gonna drop it in 2 weeks or some shit. You know what I mean? Like it's you have to keep showing up, and that's what I try to do. And then like once I'm writing, in terms of what I'm doing during the process, I usually always have to be moving. That's the thing. I don't know if you can relate to that, but I always have to be kind of like walking around, kind of like saying my stuff, moving my hands, like rapping with the headphones on, like going back to the beat, like figuring out what I want to do. And then when I have like a concrete like way to go, like oh, like I came up with 4 bars, I'll sit down, write it, and then when I'm back into like all right, I gotta find the unknown, like I gotta go back into that. I get up again, start moving. It's very like active, and I'm moving around. It's kind of crazy, but it's yeah. So that's basically what happens usually. But
Yeah.
yeah. So like I said though, it's just a matter of showing up, and if you do that, even on bad days, what I've gotten to realize is I don't even care about the bad days anymore. If I'm not doing it, I'm like I know that I'm gonna do it. Like it's gonna happen. It's like I'm gonna find a good idea soon. It might not even be tomorrow. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, all right, I wrote a shitty song tomorrow. I wrote a crappy set of bars today. I'm gonna freaking make the best thing of my life tomorrow. That's not how it's gonna. You can't like expect that all the time.
Yeah.
But I know that it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen really, really soon because I'm gonna keep showing up. You know what I'm saying? So that's an important part of it. But yeah, it's just like I said, showing up and whatever your creative process is, as long as you can create. It's a very like up to interpretation. It's up to you. It's case by case. So which I'm sure you can resonate with. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm saying it's all over the place, but I try to get as much done as I can.
No, yeah, what's also like an underrated kind of what's also underrated?
But
The Nike slogan. You know what
oh,
it is?
word, just do it, bro.
Just do
Facts.
it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
It, it's like,
That's basically what I kind of heard from your way is just do it.
yeah, for
Just show
sure.
up. Just
That's such a life slogan, and I don't think we give it. You saying that like literally kind of like I feel like I thought about this maybe a couple weeks ago, and you saying that brought it back up, and now it's like that slogan. It's so like just normal now, but it
yeah.
really is. Being completely honest, it's really like the key to life. You know what I'm saying? Like in terms of like facing challenges and stuff, it's really a matter of just getting up and doing it.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's complicated. We have a lot of mental shit to get through, but that's really like all you have to fucking do. You know what I'm saying? You just
Yeah.
got to do it, but it's tough. But yeah, like you said, I wanted to ask you, like, so how do you feel about the moving around, like when you're writing? Like, are you fucking bouncing all over the walls, or are you kind of stationary? Like what's your kind of, you know what I mean?
I guess when it comes to my end, I'm trying to like get through my creative process of making a song.
Yeah.
It goes both ways. There's days where I kind of like force myself sometimes to write, but sometimes
Mhm.
that's like it doesn't always come out the way I expected. So
Yeah.
sometimes the best of my writing, it
Hmm.
always comes when I'm moved. I'm my mind is all over the place, low key. You
For
know,
sure.
I
Yeah.
don't know why it is like that. It's just that's how my routine of me making a song is low key.
Yeah.
But also just showing up as well.
Yeah.
Because there's days where it's just like I need to write. I need to like if I don't want to talk to nobody about whatever I'm going through, or if I don't want to talk to nobody in general, I got this journal.
Yeah.
I got notes on my phone.
Yeah.
Let me just write something out so I can clear my mind, so I can get
Yeah.
whatever I need to get out of my head, and then
Yeah.
just let it be where it is on a journal, and then I can use that. And it
Yeah.
doesn't have to. And when it comes to writing, and you don't have to like straight write up like a whole bar or a whole
Mhm.
verse. You can just write whatever you need to write so you can release your thoughts somewhere in a
Sure.
safe place. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I developed within trying to figure out how to become more better when it comes to just writing in general, where
Yeah.
I just write freely sometimes to start off in my journal,
Yeah.
and then I can use those ideas that I wrote on my journal, and I can
Yeah.
take that and I can hopefully use it for a song in the future. And there's times where I've done that.
Mhm.
Lately I've been doing that, and it's been
Yeah.
helping me out as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, it goes both ways. Like
For sure.
sometimes it's organized, but it's disorganized as well. So it's just like trying to keep trying. So I'm trying to find a certain routine to stick by,
Yeah.
but
Uh,
sometimes that routine is always going back
Absolutely.
to those, I don't even want to say habits. It just goes back to that
Hmm.
normal, to that other way of doing it, basically.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Though it sounds like a good process. Though that's definitely like something that could get the job done. You know what I mean? And it's like you can't ever like give up on those ideas that just don't seem like anything yet, because you gotta like it could, like I said, it could be your biggest song. It could be like something that your
Yeah,
most session in like a year. You know what I mean? So you just gotta like just um trust all of it, trust yourself, and just try to create as much as you can and try to just stay creatively consistent. You know what I mean?
yeah, no, that's the whole key of it, honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
So question number 6. So in your own words, what do
Mhm.
you enjoy most about just being an artist in general?
Good question. I'd say there's starting to become multiple answers. I think before it was like how powerful and in a positive, like in a positive, like I think healthy, like how just confident how much confidence it brings me. I'd say when I succeed in something with it, if I do a good performance, release a good song, or if I get some good feedback, or if I like do a good business scheme, or just anything like that, and that's like it just makes me feel so capable. You know what I mean? And there's days where you really don't feel capable a lot of the times in this shit. So that's a big thing of it. But in terms of like, besides just myself internally, probably to be honest with you, the people I've met, because there's a lot of people now like in music that I've met where like it's literally just like we're homies, we're best friends, but we just happen to do the same thing together, and it's fucking crazy. You know what I mean? So that's like probably the people I've met, and just like the conversations I've been able to get into and have, and just like the ways I've been able to bond with these people. It's just, I don't know. It's made me such a better, it makes me like a better person in my opinion, just being around these people. And obviously like I
Mm,
include you in this shit, like just people that I've met even recently. So that's a big thing. But like that's probably my answer outside. But for me, it's just how much like how on top of the world I feel whenever I like do something, fulfilling,
facts.
or any win, you know what I'm saying, in this shit, because the small ones do matter.
Yeah, yeah. No, those small little accomplishments, facts.
Yeah. Mhm.
They do carry a lot of weight when it comes to
Yeah.
the whole process of just being an artist. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel you, man. The people around you, especially the people that like truly do care, they truly want to
Yeah.
see like you succeed. Like they always show that support. They always show like that real, real love, man. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's just like we said at the beginning, that's important. That like spreading love is the main key to all of this shit. You know what I'm saying? And like I don't really care how corny or how cliche or yada yada how it sounds, but like that's
Yeah.
literally like it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know how to really kind of like specify it or not make it whatever complicated, but at the same time it's just that's the answer to the whole shit. And then you be like you said, you become a better human being within a people within the circle that you keep around. You
Yeah.
become just a better person, a more wiser individual, and gain you gain knowledge to a certain extent as well. You know what I'm saying? Like you start to feel your growth. You know what I'm saying? Like, which is like the most dopest shit. Like you really start to like feel the growth of where you were like a couple years ago to where you are right now. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I mean, obviously, like you getting older, like you're aging up, like obviously, but like you're mentally
Yeah.
and mentally, like and physically, and knowledgeable wise are growing in that area aspect as well.
Yeah.
So like just to be in the midst of that and just like feeling that is just because like
Yeah.
anybody can age up and anybody can like get to like obviously to 29 to 42. Anybody can do that. But
Yeah.
like, but if your
Like,
mind, but it's all about how your mind is aged up as well. You know, that's
absolutely.
important. You know,
Hmm.
because anybody
Yeah.
can be in their 50s and then they can have a mind of a 10-year-old. Not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm saying it's just like you gotta be able to just keep your mind and clear of the goals that you want to go for as well. And I feel like that's basically what you're doing. Because you know what you want and you know
Yeah.
like what you got to do to get there. You know,
For sure.
so and everything is just gonna take its time from there, of course, but everything will come in the right time, basically.
Preach, man. Yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's such a fulfilling conversation. You know what I mean? Such a wide
Yeah,
spectrum.
yeah, yeah. I have like a I don't even want to say it's a bad tendency, but I have a tendency of like just like
Yeah.
you because you said preach, but like I guess
Yeah.
I'm not preaching, but I guess I have a tendency of just like saying shit like
Yeah.
this just because
Me too.
I'm so passionate about all of it, about the whole thing when it comes to spreading love and when it comes to just actually living up to that shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because like I do say it a lot, and I do it say it all the time, either when I perform or whenever I like mention, just whenever I really can, I try to say that shit. But at the same time, it's just like I say it so it could be a reminder for the people that are not doing it. And
Yeah.
so it can also just be a reminder that there's still people out here that actually just want to just be that, show that love and be that love. And so
Yeah.
hopefully see others spread it, as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Question number 7. How do you deal in your own way, trying to answer this? How do you
Mhm.
deal with writer's block when it appears in your journey of trying to write a song? And I know this is like one of those type of questions, so yeah, take your
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
It's I've gotten a lot better at it. I
That's
even
good.
maybe a couple years ago, it was really tough. The first time I ever got like writer's block when I was like full into my like music journey, like in terms of like, oh, I was all in. It was like I was unrecognizable. Like I was so distraught about it. I was like, what the hell is going on? Like I lost all my confidence for like a couple of days. Like I was like, I can't
Yeah.
write anything. I'm good. I tried and I was like, I can't do it. I don't know what the hell's going on. And I didn't know what it was. Now I'm like, when writer's block comes, I know that it's just a feeling that I can like conquer. Now I'm like,
Mm.
all right, no, fuck that. I'm gonna just keep writing. I don't give a crap. Even if I hate exactly what I'm doing, I'm dedicating time out of my day to write something that I know is shit. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm.
I'm just
Mm.
put it down. But
Damn.
back then it was like it was so hard to deal with because I had no idea what it was. I didn't know what this feeling was. I didn't know why I couldn't write anymore. I didn't know why I couldn't, I didn't know where my talent went. It was always like, obviously now I know in retrospect, it was always there. It didn't go away, but
Yeah.
why couldn't I, like use it? I don't know. It was tough, but now it goes back to what I said before, where it's just, I'm just trusting. And I think a lot of artists say this, and a lot of good artists, if you listen to like a big artist in an interview and they're talking about writer's block, they're saying, I'm just, even if it sucks, and even if I think it sucks, like it probably doesn't suck in the grand. If you get to a point in your career, you're not making anything that's like really bad. You're just making stuff that you think is like below your expectations. But it's something that anybody would go into and be like, oh, this ain't bad at all. But it's just knowing that it's below your expectations, not something that you want to do anything with in the long run. But you just got to keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? That's the formula, I'm saying. Just like keep showing up, like as we've been saying for this interview. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. Yeah. I like that you brought brought that up.
Where
It's just keep writing, even when you don't want to write. Like, just keep keep writing.
for
Um,
sure.
because like you said, even though if it's like not what you want to write about, or if it's not like the story you want to tell, you
Yeah.
gotta just keep writing regardless.
Mhm.
And doesn't mean like you don't have to use whatever you're writing. You could probably use
Yeah.
it for another song. You could use it for anything or not use it at all. Maybe just store it up and just
Yeah.
release, just for you to release your thoughts and shit. Like,
Right.
and like, it goes definitely back to what we said before, just to show up, just do it.
Right.
And that's the easiest kind of way to kind of put it out when it comes to even writer's block as well. When it comes to like, I mean, there's many ways to try to go through it.
Mhm.
Because every artist is different. Everybody has their own way of trying to figure out like why
Mhm.
I have writer's block and how
Yeah.
am I supposed to get out of it. Because it's like, it's not like it's a bad thing. It's a good thing. Like you're learning in that area of aspect of trying to figure
Yeah.
out like, okay, it's here.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to adapt now? How am I supposed to become hopefully better after the writer's block? Or you know what I'm saying? and you can take a break. Maybe sometimes you need to take a break from the writing and just to ease your mind, and
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
that's definitely one of it as well.
Yeah.
Or sometimes, like we said before, maybe we need to go out and get inspired, maybe go somewhere
Mhm.
else and shit.
Yeah.
Or we just need to keep writing and writing and writing until something comes out.
Yeah.
And I
Mhm.
feel like no matter which way you choose, either way you'll get the results you want. I feel like,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah. For sure.
it's just different for a different type of artists and different type of human beings.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I said, yeah, either way would work. Either way that you want to deliver and go on about with whatever you're trying to do, it will work. Like,
Yeah.
because it worked not just for me, but it worked for you and it worked for other people as well. But like I said,
Yeah.
other people are different. You just got to find your way of trying
Yeah.
to do it,
Mhm.
trying to figure out how the writer block. Because yeah,
Mhm.
writer's block is I don't even want to say it's a struggle. It's just a learning process, like I said. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just
Live and learn. Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah,
For sure.
it's just you gotta find your way through it. That's all. So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I think the last thing I'll say on this question is a
yeah,
creative process is very objective, but being consistent. I mean, very subjective, but being consistent is objective. Like, there's no
mm,
way to be consistent. Like, it's just you have to do it as much as you can. You have to like just keep uh pushing yourself and keep working on it. But like your creative process can be anything as long as you keep engaging in your creative process. That's being consistent. I'm saying you're engaging in it consistently. That's what I mean. That's all it is. So
yeah,
yeah.
100%, 100% agree, definitely. All righty. So question number 8. So before you get on any type of stage to perform, do you do
Yeah.
anything for yourself to get yourself in a good headspace to get yourself ready to perform? In your own way of trying to answer that. Um, I've said it sometimes previously in my previous podcast. Like there's times where I meditate before I
Mm.
perform. Like that helps me out. But if there's a
Mhm.
way that I like, which way, like however you want to answer, like what helps you out to get yourself ready to perform?
I try to be, and this is something that I do not just with performing, because performing is like I still get nervous at every
Yeah,
performance I do. You've told me this too, and like it's this thing where you kind of got to remove yourself, like, oh, like, because like if you, I'm sure anybody that watches this stuff and knows Leon, like he performs like a lot. Like, he's been at this shit. He's like been around, and like he's like, I've heard him tell me like, yo, I get nervous for everyone, and it's just it's an intimidating thing. Obviously, at a certain point, I think we're gonna get used to it a lot, like that feeling. But for me, performing, it's the way I deal with it is kind of how I deal with any big anxious situation. I try to like just sit there and be like, all right, this is happening. Like, I try to connect myself to the room. I'm like, all right, this is it. Like just not look at it's just people around me. It's not like I'm not dying. I'm not, nothing's going on. This is
yeah,
just something good. This is something good for my career. This is something like I'm fine. Like I prepared, like I'm good. And I like try to like
yeah.
surround myself, just like put a bubble of like love around myself. I'm like, yo, I'm good. I'm straight. Like this, I'm okay.
I like
It's
that.
not, even though I'm anxious, this isn't like, I don't need to have a panic attack right now. This is nothing that's gonna, that needs to warrant that kind of reaction. I'm all right. And then I try to do that like a couple minutes before, and then right when I'm on, I just try to like, for some reason I just enter that mode where it's business time. You know what I'm saying? Once I get into that on stage, I'm a little less nervous. Like I'm nervous when I'm talking, like saying my stuff. I'm still trying to figure out all that, just to make a complete performance and experience. But when I get on stage and I'm doing my thing, like it's another zone that you go into. It's a blur. You know what I'm saying? I can't even
Yeah,
remember. I remember some of the faces and stuff, but once you get in like on stage and you're doing your thing, it's business as usual, I think. But like I said, right before or like a few minutes before, I try to just like be compassionate with myself. Okay, we're all right. We're gonna go kill this shit. And even if we don't, even if I have my own expectations. Sometimes I'm not happy with my performances completely, and it's
yeah,
just all right. But
yeah,
no matter what, I'm gonna go to the end. I'm not gonna stop rapping until I can't even breathe no more. It's good. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving it everything I got. So but yeah, the compassion is towards yourself in these situations, especially like the anxious situations. And performing is like freaking exhibit A of that. You gotta provide that for yourself.
yeah, yeah. No, I like that very
Mm.
heavily.
Yeah.
Um, because basically it's like trying to keep the positivity communication
Yeah.
within yourself
Mm.
before you receive it from others. Basically try to
For
like
sure.
talk good within yourself. Be like, yo,
Yeah.
you're gonna do good, you're gonna be fine. Like you don't need to
Yeah.
overthink
Yeah.
about like anything. Like you're gonna be good because like you said, it's beneficial within your career, within your line of work. So it's just
Mhm.
like it's not like it's not like you're gonna end up getting to like, like a really bad outcome out of it. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like because at the end, at the end of the performance, it's a usual thing reaction when people like applaud you, you know what I'm saying? But like when it comes to you, you said like sometimes you have your own kind of standards of how you want to
Yeah.
develop
Hmm.
your performance,
Yeah.
and like I could relate to that very heavily as well because I criticize my performances
Yeah.
to like heavy, you know what I'm saying? Like even people say like, yo, like you have a dope, you did good. I'd be like, nah, that shit was ass. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but like I always respect and like appreciate the love that comes your way towards me.
Yeah,
But like I like that we can be able to criticize our work because
for sure.
that's how much we care about it. That's how much we want to get better at it and how much we want to keep continuing just to get better at it, basically.
Yeah.
Um, and I like that you also brought up like you basically when you're kind of there, you kind of like analyze the room, like the atmosphere around you,
Yeah.
to a certain extent, and I like that you use that word like the bubble of love, basically,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like
Uh-huh.
try to just create that environment around you because that's basically what it is. It's just
Yeah.
people are out here just to show that support towards like showing that support to them and also coming back your way as well. And the support is going like towards each other basically.
Yeah.
Because I have once I've gotten here and I know we talked about it in the past in the beginning conversation that we talked about like the competition like there's hardly any I feel like ever since I got in here. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because everybody out here are trying to do the same goals and trying to reach the same dreams,
Yeah.
but they are also willing to like to show that support within others as well, and
Yeah.
that because like like not having that ego is just like it is like
Yeah.
I hardly see that within other people, you know what I'm saying? People
Yeah.
like they let their ego go aside and just let them have their light out as well, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
we can all could be able to shine because everybody has their own plant and everybody wants to be able to keep watering their plant as much as we can. So let's like maybe let's help this person to help
Yeah.
plant other seeds around them so they can grow as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it could take easy as 1 2 3. It can really, like I say, it could just be sharing people's stories. It can be just following them. It can just be just being there presently, like anything. There's always something small that can just really make something big for them,
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah.
The one thing I said, like it popped in my head like 2 seconds ago. A big thing, and this is like a big little tip that I would give anybody trying to perform. And I think it's like one of the most important things you can do in terms of like the day itself and like not getting too nervous while you're about to be up next or whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of low key helped the first day you and I met, just to give some background lore. Like the first day I remember when we met at, open shout out to Open Mic Renegades, great community. When we
Facts.
met at the mic, you were, I remember out, we both were performing obviously. And like, I think you might've been the first one that I went to, or you might've been the first one up on the lineup. And instantly for some reason, like obviously like you killed it, but I was like, just, it kind of from that, first person that, from you going up, I was like trying to just be an engaged audience member, not like, because my first open mic that I went to back in New York when I was 17, I was so focused on myself, and like I still did okay. So it's not like if you're not like, if you're nervous during, and you can't really focus too much on, everybody else performing, it's not like you're going to do terrible automatically. But like from like seeing you on stage and clapping like, yo, let's go, like that was crazy, that was so good, and then like coming up to you afterwards, dapping you up, and then doing that with every single other person, I didn't even realize, like I didn't even have time to get nervous about myself, because it happened both times, like both Open Mic Renegade shows I've done, and like the other performances I've been doing, it's literally been, oh, this person's going up, I'm gonna show all my support. 5 more people have come up, I'm gonna show all my support, all my support, all my support. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, CYBRA's up next. I'm like, oh fuck. And then I just get on like I don't even have time. Like I said, all that window of time is just completely closed, and I just have to go up and do the easy part, which is go up and perform. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'd say a big tip for open mics, for shows or whatever, be an engaged audience member, I'd say, because it'll literally like make time fly. It won't make you think about your own. In the downtime, if like there's a break between sets, or if there's an intermission or something, you're the first one up, that's probably like the worst case scenario. But like still, there's still ways to kind of, like they'll go talk to people after. That's a big thing for open mics. Like in the halftime, whatever, in the break, talk to as many people as you can. Just go up to them. It's easy. Icebreakers. Like, oh, you killed it too. Boom. That's literally how we met. That's how I met people at my grade. It's so easy. You know what I'm saying? Like I myself, I consider myself a heavy introvert, but I'm so social at these open mics because it's so easy to be. You know what I mean? Like especially and stuff. So yeah, I'd say just like be engaged in the audience, be engaged with what's going on. That has it kind of, like I said, it probably ties a lot into my other answer that we kind of touched on, which is just, analyzing the room and just being present. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot more, there's so much more going on than just your 5-minute performance. You know what I'm saying? You got to have fun with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, yeah, I definitely agree. I definitely agree with everything. Yeah, take that advice for anyone that's gonna get onto this podcast and
for sure.
Get through this video, and take that advice 100% because it's definitely gonna help out within anybody that's wants to perform or has already performed, or like they're having like, I don't even want to say issues, they're just trying to like learn from what they're working with. So yeah, take as much advice as from him, and then hopefully it could get you to where you want to be when it comes to your performance. Yeah, man, no, 100%, 100%. Question number 9: what do you believe, in your own way, trying to answer this as well, what do you believe is the best advice or message that you would like to give to the viewers, or just anyone in general that wants to follow their dreams and pursue their goals?
Yeah, so we've touched a lot about, we've covered a lot of different things. So if I kind of reiterate a little bit, my apologies. But a lot of the stuff that we did touch on, and however long we've been talking, is people don't realize it. People think that it's just like work ethic, hustle. That is very important. Like being like a hard worker and like busting your ass for this shit, like because you really want it. That's super important. I'm not about to say like, yo, just tell yourself like you're great and do nothing, because that's not gonna get you jack. It's not gonna get you nowhere. But the main thing is like you have to have a really open mind. I'd say like you have to be willing to admit, you have to hold yourself accountable. I'd say it's a big thing that I'm learning to do. Hold yourself accountable. Like, yo, I'm not like, even though I'm special, I'm talented. No one's gonna know that if I don't show it, if I don't put myself out there. Like I said, also you got to promote the self-love. You got to spread that. You got to be a good person. You got to be a good audience member. You got to be a good community member. And if you put all that together, all that stuff has nothing to do with the work ethic. If you can do that too and put all that stuff together, it's set. You know what I mean? So you got to be the complete package. You can be. You know what I'm saying? If you have it deep down, if you want it deep enough, you can do that. You know what I
mean? No, I like that. No, that's basically the best advice that you can. One of the best advice that you can give when it comes to just trying to push your dreams, and just to push your goals, and just to push the boundaries that you want to go for when it comes to that level of creativity within your own creative aspect, whatever you're trying to go for. And it's just like it is going to be tough for people that are not used to it when it comes to like being like because me and you both, we're both introverts, but we developed our way to becoming more extroverts, and we developed our way to just be more comfortable with it. And that means if I can do it, you can do it too. You know what I'm saying? And it could really happen to anybody. And it's like you said, to open your mind to many new things around you. To not even just musically wise, but just like reality wise in general. Because there are nice people out here. We do live in a interesting society in the world that we live in today. Yes. But it's always been like that, it's just right now it's kind of a little bit more noticeable. But that doesn't mean that should like stop us from doing the things that we want to do, nor should it stop us to just creating relationships. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know who you can impact with just a communication, with just a handshake, with just a high five, anything, bro. You can really change somebody's life with just little gestures. You know what I'm saying? So just like, don't be afraid. Yeah, that's it. I don't know. Yeah, just don't be afraid.
Yeah, just do it, low key. You know what I'm saying? Back to the Nike slogan. You know what I mean?
Facts. Hopefully you won't get sued or something.
Yeah, facts. No copyright. You know what I mean?
Facts. Yeah, facts. We're just promoting it. Facts. They should pay us. They got pay us.
For real. We both got to get a sponsorship after this. You know what I'm saying? I'm
jacking. Facts. For we just got to wear Nike everything for the next season.
Oh yeah. Our next one, when we do the re-up of this, we're gonna be all just Nike'd out. You know what I'm saying?
Head to toe, bro. Head to toe. Facts.
For real, bro.
All right, but so that sums up 9. So we're on our last question number 10, and I always said the best for last, I feel like.
Mhm.
And since you are actually, you know what? I got a bonus question actually after this. Since you know,
Oh, okay.
I feel pretty good about today, and I feel good about this podcast. But it's also going to be separate within like
Okay.
musically wise.
Yeah.
But question number 10: if you can say one thing to your younger self, what would that message be?
Oh man,
Yeah, I know.
that's a great one.
Best for last.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? That's been a narrative in my life. Like I like recently, I've been like trying to get in touch with like my inner child and stuff, and like trying to like go
Yeah.
back to how I was then. To be honest with you, like uh, I would probably tell him, and this is going to tie into a lot of stuff we said about specific things. When it comes to networking, when it comes to building a community, being a good community member, you're
Mm-hmm.
not the only. Like I would tell him, you're not the only person on this world, and that goes a lot of ways. Like you're not the only person on earth. You have people that love you. You have people that care about you. The people that you think don't fuck with you, they don't matter. And you, or you might even be wrong. They might fuck with you a lot, but you just can't like admit it. You can't come around to find that out because you're too stupid to realize it. But also, what I mean by like, oh, you're not the only person on earth. You have to get out of your own head. And this is it goes back to the open mic thing. When you're sitting there in a room full of a whole bunch of creatives, don't exclude yourself from it because you think you're hot shit. You think you're special. You are special, but at the same time, you're not special enough. Nobody's special enough where they're more important than everybody else in the room. You know what I'm saying? Nobody has that privilege and nobody ever will. You know what I'm saying? People will try to give themselves that privilege, but you don't have it. So
Yeah.
I would tell them like, bro, there's people out there, like accept them, you know what I mean? And support them. And that's a big thing. And also like, I wish I could go back and tell my 14-year-old self that it's okay, but now I can just be that for, my future children and, like the people around me. So, yeah, it's like I said, it goes back to that, just compassion, but also like get over yourself a little bit. You know what I mean? Just loosen up, have fun, like, and just just try to learn new shit and just like walk the walk. You know what I'm saying? Don't just keep talking about all this stuff and not seek it out in interesting ways. Like just live it. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, 100%,
Yeah.
100%. Nah, I definitely agree with all of that.
Yeah.
There's a lyric from Kid Cudi. I don't know if you listen to Kid Cudi,
Yeah, of
um,
course.
off of his first album.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh, this is his last song. I don't know what the last song is called off that album, but it's like
Yeah.
no, it's called Up, Up and Away. So like the hook,
Oh, amazing
yeah,
song. I love that song.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the hook is like, I'll be up, up and away, up, up and away. They're gonna judge me anyway. So whatever. That's
Yeah.
basically like sums up the whole shit. They're gonna judge me regardless of what I do.
Yeah.
If I
Hmm.
do, if I'm doing good at something, if I'm doing bad at something, if I'm chasing my dream, if I'm not chasing my dream, regardless, they're gonna be, they're gonna be, them regardless. They're gonna be judging me anyways
Yeah,
for whatever I'm doing. So like just if that's the case, then I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck I want. You know what I'm saying?
for
So like
sure.
that's the whole recipe. That's the formula. That's the Krabby Patty formula. However you want to fucking
Yeah,
call
yeah, yeah.
it.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you
Anything.
so much for bringing that song up too. That song is so beautiful, bro. Such an amazing song. Up, up
Yeah,
and
yeah,
away. I really. It's like it might be my favorite one on that album. It's a hot take. But that song is really good. I don't think anybody's gonna really argue me on that because, like, there's a lot of good songs, but that one's really good too. Obviously, Pursuit of Happiness is up there, soundtrack to my life. There's a couple other ones too that I can't come to mind right now, but Up, Up and Away is like probably my favorite because it's just so uplifting, but not like corny uplifting. It's the perfect amount of happy and peaceful and like
yeah.
motivation. I'm saying that song is great. I'm not gonna go on. I can go on a rant about that one for like hours, but yeah, that's what it is, bro. It's like no matter what you do, people are gonna have bad opinions on it. And it's
Mhm.
once you get to the point where you're doing your thing, besides any of that, in spite, not no matter what is going on, how much of that is around, that you're set.
Yeah, man. Just let those people live, but don't
Yeah,
let them live in your head.
yeah,
Don't let them live in your soul and your spirits, man, because that's where it matters. If they
yeah,
want to live in your surroundings or in your atmosphere, like, because they're going to be there, you're going to see them
yeah,
visually. Even when you go on the media, you're going to witness it, but don't let it get to you, because if
for
it
sure,
gets to you, that's when that's when everything starts to change.
absolutely.
um but yeah, nah, yeah, that's a perfect way to answer that. So yeah, nah, 100%, don't let nobody take away whatever you're trying to go for. Don't just let them judge, man. They're only judging and they're only giving out hate or jealousy just because they're not doing it. You know what I'm saying? But they can do it. They just, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
awesome. So yeah, I did say bonus question facts. You know what I'm saying? It is the
Yeah.
last episode for this season. I just
Yo.
kind of made up this question out of the spot. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I don't know if you know. I don't
Yeah.
know if you know. There's Raw is coming up in Madison Square Garden this coming Monday.
Oh, it is. Holy shit! I didn't know it was coming to New York. Damn. Okay.
Yeah,
Word.
bro. Yeah, now
Yeah.
because Rey Mysterio is having like his 20th anniversary and that shit, which is crazy,
Ooh. Yeah.
bro. I had to
Oh, okay.
pop up to that shit. I had to.
He's an all-time fave too. He's like he's probably my top, especially because like that he was like one of the guys I was like really around when I started watching like years ago. So he's a legend. He deserves that. You know what I'm saying? He deserves that
Nah,
for
yeah,
him.
he deserves all the
Yeah,
flowers, bro. All the flowers, bro. But
absolutely.
for this question, what I'm trying to ask is
Mhm.
and how you ever want to like answer it too, because this is probably the most cliche question
Mhm.
ever when it comes to like wrestling and shit. But like,
Yeah, yeah.
who's your who's your favorite wrestler?
My
Who's your favorite
favorite
wrestler?
wrestler.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great question. I could talk like I'm low key a big wrestling fan, so I could talk about this a lot. We're not gonna make it to it. We could probably spend like a whole nother hour. This would be a whole nother
Or you
above the
could
sky
you could even like do like a top 5 or 3. You know what I'm saying?
top five.
Because trying to find out one is difficult. I know.
Very tough. I'd say I'll go top three for now, and I'd
Okay, but
say three like from obviously from like three being the least best to one being the best. The third my top three.
yeah.
Three is probably Chris Jericho. Fuck Chris Jericho heavy. I really really like him.
Mhm.
He's also a great person. I love that about him too. That gives me a deeper love for them if they're like really dope too. He's like such a good person. He's a good artist. He like does music like he does music too.
He
He
does do music facts.
and he's a good singer too. Like he's he's in Fozzy and shit. Like he's doing his thing. So he's like a multimedia kind of person too. And Chris Jericho is just a dope human being all around, and he's like amazing talent. So he'd probably be three. Two, I'm not sure. I'm trying to think. I'm thinking probably about an OG one. I might have to go to might be Macho Man. To be honest with you,
Ooh, Randy
because Macho
Savage.
Low
Okay.
key, I think he's a little underrated, to be honest with you too. I think he's like because back then when he was around, it was Hulk Hogan. It was like he was the shit Hulk Hogan. And
Yeah.
then but Macho Man was like putting on the best matches, but Hulk Hogan was the guy. You know what I'm saying? And Macho Man, I think, just was so his persona alone was iconic. So it was back that he was a good wrestler too. It was insane. So probably he would be two. Rest in peace, Bob. Yeah, and then one probably would be I'd have to go with Rey Mysterio, 619 to be honest with you.
Ah, fire.
He's my guy, bro. I can't lie. He's so good, bro. He's so amazing.
Now, Rey Mysterio is the man, bro. I like those. I love those three that you put.
Yeah, yeah,
Especially,
yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Randy Savage for sure.
Yeah. What about you? I got Fearless.
So yeah, all right, but so I'm gonna do it like this then, because I do have a top 3,
Mm-hmm.
but like it's kind of like I guess all over the place actually, but like because you know how like they have like eras and shit, like the
Yeah,
Attitude Era and like you know what I'm
yeah,
saying. So I'm gonna
yeah.
try to do it like that, I guess.
Uh-huh.
So when it comes to like that, I sort of grew up with the Attitude Era. So like when it comes to the Attitude Era,
Mm-hmm.
I would have to say. Nah, oh damn, bro.
It's a
Shawn
tough
Michaels,
question.
Shawn Michaels definitely an attitude era.
Ooh,
I feel like
yeah,
Shawn Michaels, if not Shawn Michaels, definitely the Undertaker. But
yeah, yeah,
it would have to be Shawn Michaels.
yeah,
And then when
yeah,
it comes to like before that era, like during the Hulk Hogan kind of
yeah,
like
yeah.
scene when Hulk Hogan was wrestling, I want to say
Yeah.
Bret Hart.
Ooh,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
but when it comes to the Attitude Era, Rey Mysterio for sure.
yeah.
Um,
So
Batista
good.
was up there as well. Batista was up there as well. But like something about
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio was he's man, it's crazy because this man doesn't even cut promos. I feel like he's a good ass wrestler. So it's just
Yeah.
like,
He's
yeah,
okay on the mic, but his talent and just his whole aura is so unique. There's nobody like him. You know what I mean? There's
at
nobody.
all.
You know what
At
I'm saying? And he
all.
also like he's probably like the merch money. I can't imagine the merch money he rolled in for all of his career just because of these
Just
masks.
a
Like
mass facts,
the
bro.
was
Oh
like
my
iconic.
days.
So he has that leg up. That's a cheat code. You know what I'm saying? He has that leg up over everybody. You know what I'm saying? With those fucking like multicolored cool ass masks. I still want to get one. I never had any. I really want them. So
Bro.
it's I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like he's just he's just got it, and he's like such a legend. He doesn't get enough love, so I hope that they like freaking just celebrate him to oblivion on Monday.
I
You know
hope
what I'm
so
saying?
too, bro. I hope so too, because he deserve all those flowers.
Yeah, facts.
Now Rey Mysterio is the oh man, I can't wait for that shit. But like, yeah, Rey Mysterio is definitely up there. But then again, like I love Eddie Guerrero as well. I love
Yeah,
Eddie Guerrero, and
yeah,
I'm not even saying this because it's just like because I know like when usually people pass away, they usually kind of hop on the bandwagon like just
yeah,
to like show that love. But like I started to like truly appreciate him a lot more when I got older because when I
yeah.
was like when he was alive,
Mm-hmm.
when he passed away, it was like 2005. So I was still kind of young, but I was still like kind of there to see his matches, but like
Mm-hmm.
as much as I could really remember. But
Yeah,
oh yeah, when I got older, I truly like I appreciated it a lot more to like really like witness that in the older age, I guess.
yeah, yeah. And Eddie Guerrero is like a ball of charisma too. Like, he's so charismatic. He's such a good. He's so funny too. But then on top of that, he's like one of the best to ever do it in terms of like ring skills. Like
Yeah,
he's just like I always say with Eddie and like with a couple of like the other wrestlers that have passed away, unfortunately. Like when I, especially Eddie though, when I watch his matches, I'm like, damn, you passed away. Holy shit! And it just gets me
I
so
know.
depressed. I'm like,
Yeah,
damn, you are so good. And he's like, but he has a legacy. Like it'll nobody can ever take that away from him. He's
hundred
so
percent,
good.
hundred
And
percent.
him and Ray, like if you want to talk about them two together, they put on some of the best freaking shows like in the
Bro. They're like
business.
peanut butter and jelly when it comes to matches,
That,
bro. Like they just coexisted like
yeah,
that. Like they knew how to put up a good match, and like their
yeah,
chemistry was just amazing, bro.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Everything,
So
everything.
effortless. That's how you know. Like the best part about like the best factor in the chemistry and what makes good chemistry is how effortless it is. And for them to, it wasn't like hard at all. They just like got in there and it was so fluid. It was never bad. It was just always just like at its worst, it was still like so much better than some of the other matches. And like I don't know, they're both so good. And I've loved that like Ray has, and a lot of people, obviously everybody's paid tribute to Eddie, but I love that Ray is just kind of wearing that on his sleeve and just kind
Yeah,
of really just like paid homage to them at every turn. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like wrestling's always going to be in my heart, and like for big reasons because of those guys. You know what I'm saying? They're just legends, living legends. Obviously for Eddie, he's immortalized, and yeah, I don't know, just some of the ghosts, bro.
yeah, literally.
Nice. What
And
a
I
way to
think
end it.
yeah, not for real. And I think the most underrated wrestler before we close this out, in my opinion,
Yeah,
is Kurt Angle. I feel
yeah,
like I feel like
yeah,
he's the most underrated wrestler. I feel like Kurt Angle,
yeah.
in my opinion, though. In my opinion.
Yeah, he's another beast, and he might be even better than any of the guys we mentioned. You know what I'm saying? In terms of like actual ability, he's such a beast, and like I don't know why. Like I don't know why he's so. I can't really put my finger on it because it's not like he's bland. He was always entertaining. He always had like
Yeah,
a fire to him, and he was also an amazing wrestler. So I don't know, but like I still feel like you said, I agree with that. I never really thought about it. I agree. He is kind of underrated, and I don't know why because he doesn't deserve to be. He was
that's what
like
I'm
he,
saying.
my
I,
opinion. Yeah,
I've always like kind of wondered that same kind of question myself. Like, damn, like why is he underrated? Because
yeah,
he's accomplished a lot too. Like he's done so much.
yeah.
Um,
Uh-huh.
I don't know, but hey, man, he is definitely one of the goats for sure. And hopefully, he ends up having his 20th. And well, I don't even know, but if that does ends up coming to life, I'll definitely be there within
Yeah,
his
for
20th
sure.
anniversary and shit. But
Yeah.
I just want to bring that up because like it is the
Oh, great.
last episode for this season, and might as
Yeah.
well bring up out the box question
Yeah,
of
for sure.
what we were just talking about musically wise. We could just bring it up to just a random wrestling
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
Unexpected endings. Those are the best kind of endings. You know what I'm saying?
100%, 100%. But yeah, nah, that's pretty much it, man. Thank you
That
for
was
coming through. Thank you for being a
yeah.
part of it. And thank you just for being yourself, man, and just being very open, and I feel like that's important. So thank you.
Oh yeah, no, thank you so much. Like it was this is probably my favorite one that I've done so far. Like hopefully, like obviously we're gonna be seeing each other. We got another open mic we gotta go kill, in a
Yes,
week. So
sir. Yes, sir. Facts. Facts.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, go pop out to, if you're in the New York area, pop out to that, keep popping out to, I don't know when this will drop, but if keep popping out to the open mic renegades, you can catch us there. We're both friendly, so we're both introverts, but we don't bite at all. But you know what I mean? But yeah, this is really, really, I appreciate you having me on. This is like a great fun. We covered so many like areas too, got into like, our nerd wrestling shit. Like we like covered
Hell
so
yeah.
much. So it was very fulfilling. And like I said, congrats on season 4. It's gonna, to this one and many more. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not gonna be stopping anytime soon. And
Thank
you're
you.
a motivator, you're an innovator, and I appreciate you having me on, bro. For real.
Nah, man. All the love and appreciation goes back your way as well, man. That's what I'm just here to do, man. Just to actually just be that living example as much as I can, just to spread that
Yeah.
love and just to spread that support as well, as much as I can, because I know it's being independent, it has its freedom, but also have its difficulties as well,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying that I know it all because I'm in the midst of it. I just know what I know. And if I can be
Yeah.
able to just spread knowledge or just to spread something, I'm willing to be able to do that. And I'm willing to accept it both ways as well. Cause I'm not perfect, So it's just like, I'm open to anything new to make not just you better, but just to make me better and just to make each other better and just to make life better. That's the main key, I feel like. But yeah,
Absolutely.
man, thank you. Just I keep hitting this mic with my head. Thank you
Oh,
for
yeah,
just
yeah.
for being up on here, man. Is there anything else that you would like to pour out to us? Is there anything else that you want to promote? Anything you want to say before we end everything off?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you want to tap in with me, I love it. You can tap in with me on Instagram at CYBRA00, Cyber00. You can find me on all platforms at CYBRA. I'm trying to do more performances. You can pop out to those when I, announce them and shit. I got a group. Shout out to Low Battery, LO Battery on all platforms, Low Battery Music on on Instagram, I mean. And yeah, like the last thing I'll end, besides self promotion, I'll just end it off. My last message is just, just keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? Keep living. Every day is another step, and don't stop. You know what I'm saying? If you have it in you, just don't stop. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna stop. I'm sure this man, sitting on the other side of the camera, don't stop. So, it's just if you really love it, it's gonna shine through. And if you're a good person, like I said, that's gonna take you farther than you can ever imagine. So just keep living and keep going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I don't even have to say nothing after that. He kind of summed it up everything. Now, please take that advice and don't take it for granted, man. Just do it, man. Just do it,
Yeah,
man. And just
sure.
show up and just go after whatever goal that you're trying to go for. I will put your social media accounts under your side of the video as well. So for whoever does watch the video, they can just follow you
Yeah.
and support your work and just to show love, man. Because that's like I said, that's what I'm here to do, just to show love, spread
Yeah,
love, and just to be a living example of that as much as I can.
for sure.
Um, but with that being said, this is Above the Sky, season 4, episode 10, the last episode for this season. It's not the last episode forever, it's just for this season. I gotta take a break because 10 episodes for 10 weeks is it, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
it kind of warns you out just a bit. So Bob will be back. And thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your schedule for the people that are going to be watching. Just to watch this podcast because I know most of these podcasts are probably going to be an hour or
Yeah.
50 minutes or 40 minutes, but you don't even have to stick it by for that long. But I do appreciate you for anybody who does. It
Thanks.
means everything.
Yeah.
But with that being said, like and subscribe. Stay in tune to whatever, not just what I have next, but for whoever CYBRA has next, and for the people that previously before me have next within their work.
Yeah.
And just to keep spreading love, man. That's the main key. Always spread love. But with that being
Sure.
said, my name is Leon Sky. That's CYBRA. And I see you guys the next time I see you guys. All right. Peace.
Peace.